Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season of AI. And today we are excited to have Vandit sir with us, who will be delivering a powerful session on AI and MCP. So, if you are looking to stay ahead in the world of MCP, this is a session you won't wanna miss. So, without any further delay, I would like to invite Vandit sir to take us on this exciting journey of MCP.
Hey, hi guys. Thanks a lot. I guess it's been a privilege to again come back to the ADC community, right? And I guess ADC is, I guess, well known for its contribution and helping people or basically a student or a beginner who would like just starting with the Microsoft cloud computing and all the thing. So before we just begin with the session, I just want to just share uh, some personal story. So yeah, I guess I've been connected with the ADC. I guess 3 and a 4 year ago. I just started as an contributor. Okay, just coming out of college, studying different thing and trying to explore much things in a market that okay what is new thing new trends are going on. And I also learned a lot while working with the Azure developer community. So the people who does not know, I'm also like volunteering with the ADC as a developer lead. So I do deliver a talk, I do host the meetup and different other thing. But yeah, working contributing to EDC and this specifically Azure space, it's been always loving thing. So yeah, let's get back to our main thing. That's the season of the MCP. So maybe the whosoever is connected with us for a live session, or maybe you are watching a recording of this one, I guess I would like to congratulate you on the first place that now you are ahead of the AI evolution or the journey, right? Because MCP is a hot topic, I can say, because from last 6 months or seven, if you see everywhere there is a MCP, AI. I guess AI was been there for last two and a half year, right? It was always there with us, but now from last 2.5 years, it is just become a mainstream line thing, right? So we always seen some other day new model is coming up, new technique is coming up, then new field is also getting evolved, like a prompt engineering, context engineering, right? Now there is also management of the token, right? So there is lot more and lot more will be there that will be right uncovered and multiple things, right? So first place, yeah, I guess you are at the right place to learn the MCP. So yeah, learn it and just try using it, and do let me know if you need some help or some support. So you can feel free to connect with me over LinkedIn. You can just type Vandit Pandya, or maybe I delivered a good amount of session on Azure. So if you just Google Vandit Azure, you will automatically find my also past some recordings, some daily delivered session, maybe some other resources as well, right? So without further ado, let me just get into with this presentation. And there will be also some small demo. Okay, that's not something about we will just going to see theory. No, there will be some exciting thing. We will also going to see something on a live place as well. Okay, so get ready yourself, okay, to just go to this journey. And after this session, do let me know if there is any feedback or you have some doubt or query. Feel free to reach out to me over a LinkedIn or Instagram or X, Twitter, any social media. Okay. So yeah, hey folks, my name is Vandit Pandya. Currently working as a Zero DevOps engineer at the Infodection. So yeah, let's just quickly get started with the MCP, right? Now, before we start with it, okay, let's first understand that what things we will going to look today. Okay, so here are the four main agenda, right, which we're going to cover today. Okay, we will explore things around this one. Okay, so journey from AI agent, MCP, and continue. Okay, what is the MCP? How we can use it? Okay, how we can also enable it in our local system? What are the features of it? And what is the real use case, right? Because at the end of the day, if you just understand all of the things, but you do not understand what is the real use case or how we can implement it quickly, or what another thing, uh, I personally understand that will not going to make a lot of sense or not going to help us a lot, right? So we will also going to see here that okay, how we can use it, or how we can also involve that particular things in our work, or in our personal project, or some kind of we can maybe we are just building something, say how we can leverage it or use it. Okay, so that is something. So this will be the more this total four key points would be there, around which we will going to see multiple different things. Okay, the another one more thing would be there, that okay, feel free to ask your question in a chat, right? And if you have some doubt, okay, just feel free to drop that thing in a chat. I will just pick it up maybe once we just take a break, or maybe after end of the session we will definitely take that up. Now let's get started with understanding AI agent, right? Because if I just quickly give you the highlight, okay, on the AI things, I guess we maybe if you are with the AI things, or you are understanding AI, you are already knowing about the Turing test or a Turing machine. Okay, after that um, the word of AI, or the definition of AI, and those surfaces and all the things just get started, and after that there is a multiple things, right? I guess we all know about that one. But I would like to just take a two different timeline, okay, which will just give us a clear picture, right? So maybe in the 19s there was a Turing machine, and from which we get to know, okay, the word prediction, or the what is the AI, ML, okay, all those things getting started. And directly, I guess 3 years back when Chat GPT came in, right, particularly GPT 3, 3.5, right, that came in, and which shown us a capability, or given us a that faith, okay, now it can be used. Okay, and then we also already know that there is a after a GPT, we also seen the things are getting being generated with the LLM as well, right? So generative AI is also there. Right now there is also agent, then memory, then context, tool calling, lot different thing, right? So two timeline, I guess I can say about a 1990s and something like that, and then directly to 20 uh, 20 or afterwards, right? So let's understand the what is a AI agent. Okay, so AI agent, I guess majorly we see as a AI assistant, right? I guess if I just would like to quickly give you the example, so maybe we are chatting with a co-pilot or a chat GPT, right? So what they do generally, they just take our natural language prompt and give us a response on top of that. Okay, GitHub co-pilot, we already use a chat or agent mode. It is good example, right? Because it reads our whatever question or commands we do have. Okay, after that it will perform a task, or just answer based on the what it knows, okay, or what understanding it do have, okay, whatever training data it had, okay, based on that it will going to give us answer. But however, not always, not all the time, whatever knows, whatever he is knowing or the agent is knowing from the training, it could be outdated, it could be generic, right? So that's where MCP will come in a picture, right? And that we will going to just understand that okay, how those agents are getting work, okay, how the connection is there, right? So it is simple, like client server architecture is there, no much fancy different thing, right? So whatever question, like whatever what we can say, whatever input you will do or add, MCP will connect to the MCP server, then post your message. LLM will going to extract that particular portion. It will agent will going to send that portion to the MCP server. MCP server will going to respond back with the data. So basically, giving those answer to the MCP. MCP will going to collect those answer. Just change, so it will be always come to the LLM. Okay, so LLM will going to use that data, then shape it result in a which format or a specific instruction you do have. Okay, I guess we'll also going to see the instruction as well, right? So we'll also understand what does it mean by instruction, right? So maybe however the way you put it, like, okay, I want in this particular format, it will going to give us that one, and then definitely we will going to get a response on it, right? Now we also seen about the agentic coding, right, or pair programming. Okay, we seen massive shift in AI assistants, like a code space, right, over a past AI assisted coding space, right? Because from last few months, sorry, we have seen, right, you can use GitHub Copilot. You can ask them a question. They can do code completion kind of thing. They can help you to update a new file, or sorry, they help you to update the old file, or maybe they will also able to create a new file for you, right? But it all based on the training data or training context that you do it do have, right? Whenever the model was released, before that, whatever information it do have, whatever context it then have, it will going to work on that one only. For an example, after the release, there is a new things is coming up, right? So your LLM will not have understanding on it, right? That's where the external tool calling or web search and all other feature were came in, right? We will also undergoing to understand what were the challenges with those one, and how the MCP is coming in a picture. Okay, so but yeah, majorly the coding, agenting coding is it's just about the accelerating the delivery, just writing the code very faster, right? Just getting those expertise from the AI. Okay, maybe somewhere we are facing some issue or something like that, we can just directly have it in a same window. Another like another, the left hand side there is a code base, right hand side there is a AI will going to help you. Maybe if you use some premium model, they will also going to suggest you change, also making a change to you. And at the end of the day, you will have a control. Do you want to apply those changes, or do you want to accept or reject it, right? So be mindful about that one, right? Whatever AI will do, or whatever, maybe previously we were just copy pasting a code from a Stack Overflow or some blog post or somewhere, right? At that time also we were using our mind, okay, to just understand what the things are been written and how it is been written, right? So here also AI is also just cutting down all those time, cutting down all those effort of searching, and just reshaping in our specific use case or our specific ask, right? So it is helping us there. But still, as a coder, as a developer, as an engineer, our responsibility is to just, before we click on a continue, before we click on a accept, before we click on a redo or undo whatever button, okay, we should understand what it will going to do and what current state is look like, right? So that always been there. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. So we're also going to understand how we get a real time context. Okay, if there is any external tool calling is there, right? How we can do it, and I guess that was also been achieved, right? And what was the challenge when the MCP came in a picture, and what MCP is resolving, right? So we'll also see the why, we'll also see the how it is resolving, we'll also see the feature. So that is coming up in a next slide. So yeah, so for an example, you're developing some software or a tool. Okay, so what you going to do, maybe you want to use some your own personal data. Okay, or maybe you are working at some enterprise, and enterprise have some their data and those things, and you would like to just get LLM deployed on that, or you want that, okay, LLM use your context, use your data and respond on top of that. Okay, just just for an example, just understand this as an, you're working in the enterprise company, they do have a multiple policy, or maybe they do have a multiple compliances and all other things, right? There is they already drafted or documented all the thing maybe in their company internal SharePoint site, right? Now nobody has that time to go through it, or maybe you just want a response in a very quick time. What you can do is you can just directly chat with that particular application. That application can give you answer. That application can also point you to the place where this particular information is being there, right? So LLM basically working on your data, right? But just understand there is a no only one SharePoint site. There is also some database, some external data store like a drive. You also use it in some external storage account, or maybe S3 bucket, okay, some another cloud, or maybe it is hosted in our local data, like data center, or maybe on premises somewhere, okay. So data or those external contexts came from a multiple different thing, right? So what we can do here, okay, for an example, for the first place, for this particular thing, right, where we just wanted to use this system, right? We would like to just use this system and add that particular thing. What we have done, we just written our custom code, okay, to just connect with it, interact with it, okay. So it's if you just want to understand it a little bit more, so just think of as an API, okay. So what you're doing, you're just passing that thing, interacting with the API. API will going to respond back the question, giving you the answer. Okay, and you are just showing that answer to the user. Okay, but just think on that one, that your particular VS Code or your Copilot or your personal application, like company internal application, needs to connect it with the multiple things, and it is also cross platforms as well, right? Then what you ended up doing is you will going to write a same kind of simple connector, okay. Maybe possibly there is a two different department in your company. Those both department are likely to get the data from same place only, so your both team will going to use that one, or maybe across the globe there is the same kind of requirement, okay. So they will also going to write down something. So we ended up doing writing multiple plugins, okay, that will going to increase the maintenance, right, security, performance risk, and very really, right, it is a really at a scale, it is a really a issue, okay, to manage it, understand it, and continue to work on it, right? So that is a really manageability issue, right? So what MCP will do here, okay, so MCP will going to help us here. So what the things are there, MCP model context protocol will come here, and they will say, okay, just give me input, I will going to give you output, same what LLM do, but now there is a something in which generalize the input, generalize the output, your it just define the platform, or we can say give us a platform where the interaction could be very easily to do, okay. And it is open standard, right? So when we say open standard, so for example, for VS Code, for Copilot, for your enterprise application, input could be same, your output could be same, right? So if we use for any another AI tool, or maybe any another uh, AI or coding assistant, that can also understand, that can also work, right? It's not something about if you only in the VS Code it could work. No, it could also work in a Windsurf. It could also work in a Cursor, okay, or maybe in another those kind of coding environment, or those developer tools as well, right? It could work like that, right? So that's where the MCP comes in, and we can leverage that particular tool or technology to get use of it, and just get understanding, just get output out of it, okay. So MCP just stands for model context protocol, okay. It is an open standard interface to connect to the AI assistant with the external tool or the data, right? So what was the main pain point? One was the we ended up creating multiple connector or a plugin. Second, after the train data, right, after the like model is available, right, it will not have understanding about once it is getting like released, right? So it has a capability, it will have a some only restriction, or we can say a downside, that okay, it will only have a constraint of this much data only, right? Not uh, all information, or maybe not real time information, right? So that's where MCP will going to help us. And basically agent does not have a knowledge, instead it will going to use an external tool. MCP server will going to get the information, and then we're going to take the information, right? So just understand AI agent, okay, whatever we are using, the GitHub Copilot, same plus MCP server. It is a way for AI to go beyond, and it's built-in training, okay, and accessing up to the date knowledge, okay, and also performing a task through the consistent protocol, okay. So it's not something about every time you need to just formulate a API request in a some different manner for one tool, for another tool it could be different. No, MCP just standardize all other thing, and it is easy to do, right? So what is the here MCP client and MCP servers? MCP client would be your IDE agent, your application, or your app, right, from which you are using the user interface. If you just understand, the MCP server would be your server tool, or maybe uh, Microsoft knowledge. Okay, it could be like we will also going to see about the Microsoft Learn MCP servers. It could be there. Okay, so just to understand in a very high level. Okay, so MCP server, it is like a USB-C for a AI. Okay, using USB-C we can connect to the USB as well, maybe to SD card reader as well, maybe to another connector as well, maybe to HDMI as well, right? So it generalize with the one specific thing. So why I use USB-C? Once you connect to USB-C, you can use your all other connector, right? So you do not need to worry about okay how it will going to work. So basically, it is giving us a platform similar to what MCP also giving us a platform here. Now we'll understand here part of the MCP. Okay, so there is a totally three part. Okay, so there is a one host. Okay, host is a something about the VS Code or Copilot Studio or the IDs, whatever we are using. Okay, so AI agent or AI tool will have a going to access to it, and it would be through MCP. Okay, now second thing would be the clients. Okay, clients would be a protocol client. Okay, which sometime are same as a host. Okay, maybe if you are using VS Code, so VS Code will be also your host, and VS Code will be also your client. But if we are using on a Windows, right, or a Copilot Studio, in that case your host and client will be different as well, right? So that is your client as well, right? So if we just see for an example here. Okay, so your host is VS Code, okay, but your client is GitHub Copilot, or Copilot GitHub CLI, okay, because you are referencing you are entering things in this one. Okay, it is being getting triggered or invoked by this particular one, and it is getting delivered, or what is the end goal to connect, right? So it's end goal to connect to the GitHub or Azure or a Playwright or a Foundry or a File Explorer, Databricks, AI tool, multiple other things, right? So that's the host, that's the client, that's the server. Okay, so that's a basic thing. Now, this is the first part. Okay, now let's see if somebody have any question or some doubt. Let me just quickly check comments. No, I guess looks good to us. Okay, let me begin with the next half of the presentation then. So now we will going to understand that how MCP is working. Okay, how the things are currently look like. Okay, and also this will be good to understand that okay how MCP is working. Okay, so what the way look like here is, so MCP client will be there and MCP server will be there. Now we are understanding when we say client, it's some UI, it's a server from which the data is going to be fetch and going to be responded back to the client, and client will going to show in the UI. So I guess this is similar what the whatever client server architecture we do have, right? And we already study somewhere around in our college in a web development subject or somewhere similar what client and server architecture look like. It is same only, but it is in context of MCP. So at the both the place, somewhere you going to invoke something, somewhere server will going to expose something. Your client will going back like leverage that thing, going to get the response, and client will going to show back the response, right? So there will be some invoke tool, MCP server at the place. There will be some expose tool, right? So you can query for a resource, and MCP can just queue response over there, right? So it can expose the resource for you. You can interpolate its prompts, okay, and MCP server also expose those prompts, okay. You can you can get the answer on top of that. Yeah, so that's the thing. Now if we just understand what is a tool, what is a resource, what is a prompt, okay. So tool is majorly about a function or invoked by the model. For an example, just consider tool as a just consider tool as a something, a activity which you need to perform. Maybe you need to search something, you need to retrieve something, you need to update something, you need to fetch something, okay. If you just say that, okay, go to this particular website, add an item in my cart, okay, and just do a purchase, okay. So then what kind of tool it will going to utilize? It will first going to go to the search, then going to that particular then it will going to perform that particular activity to adding a particular item to the cart. After adding it to the cart, it will going to do a payment. After doing a payment, right, maybe like filling those information and doing a payment, right, and just after that it will going to give you back the response that, okay, this task is done successfully, right? So particular tool calling is something about there will be multiple tools or multiple capabilities, right? Just to understand, maybe in our application, we do have some APIs, right? We expose this API, and particular API can do one thing. Particular API can retrieve something, fetch something, modify something, update something, crud kind of thing, right? So just to in a layman term, we can also understand like that as a tool, that there is a one function, it is involved for a particular one use or a one functionality, that is that. Now the resource is something about the data that is exposed for application. It could be some file, database record, API responses, whatever it is, right? So based on the resource, based on the knowledge, it will going to help you or maybe give you the more specific answer instead of that generalized answer, okay. And prompts are a predefined template for a AI interaction. Maybe you can just say that, okay, document a Q&A, or maybe transcribe summary, or maybe output as a JSON. Write down a document for it, okay. Just generate a script for it, okay. So whatever task you want AI agent to perform, or you want to get output of for this, or maybe you want answer for that, right? So in the natural language, you just put that question, or you just state your requirement, or you state your ask, okay. That is the part of the prompt, okay. Now we understand what is a tool, okay. We already understand what is a tool, right? So the same example, right? You want to send an email, update a to do, run a task, file, maybe there is a issue, so just resolve the issue or bug, right? So there is a lot many case to this, not something about this only. There is a multiple thing, right? So you can use this particular MCP server of playwright, right, which can help you for the in the test case as well, or maybe in the life cycle of testing as well, right? Somewhere it can use help, it can helpful to use. Now with the tool you can also get a capability to user control, right? You can have a control over a tool, okay. You can configure them as per the project or a system level configuration, okay. You can also select directly uh, what kind of request that your AI agent should do, okay. And you can use them to prompt directly, and you can also even define a task for that, okay. For an example, just you can use a research, okay, research site, or maybe it's just saying as a coding, Okay, so those particular task would be there and it would automatically going to be utilized. So we can go to this particular thing, tools, under tools we can select, okay, I only want to go for the research, I do not want this one. So you can unselect it and that will also going to do the work for you. Right. Now, the resources, right? Resources are the some the external information or knowledge. Okay, so basically we are exposing some data. It would be always in a read-only phase, like a fashion only, right? So the model context protocol will going to standardize the way for a server to expose the resources directly to the client. Okay, resource also allowing us to provide the context, right? Such as maybe it could be in a file, document, database entries, or a schema, right? Or images, right? So it is defined in the, maybe it could be in a raw JSON format as well, right? For an example here, maybe if you are using MCP server, right? So it just exposes all the repository, okay, or content directly through the URL, right? You can select this particular uh, repositories there. Okay, I want to just get in context from this particular thing, right? So you're exposing something, but you are exposing in some standard format, which every other another application is also doing in a same format only, right? So here it is just making things very streamlined, okay, that it will going to use the same for another one as well. So basically we are defining architecture same for the another as well, right? It's not something about for another tool the method is different, for another tool the method is different. No, for every tool the method is same, the output is same. Maybe few parameter are mandatory, few are not, but the way of calling that particular thing or API would be remain same only. Okay, it's not something about specifically API. Okay, I'm using a API word because we generally understand word with the word of API, but not always when we say MCP, it always going to depending on the API. It could be okay, or it might be, but not in all case. It will be just the API only or API wrapper only. It can be more than that as well, right? So what is the nice thing is about that you can easily give a access to the access of data to agent directly, right? So you do not need to go fetch it, and you do not need to just download it or upload it. You can just directly connect to your database or maybe data, and you can just directly attach to it. Maybe you can attach your GitHub repo or some project or maybe some kind of context, right? I guess context is something we always do, right? Where maybe somewhere we are facing some error or something, we are just dragging drop that particular file, and we just see here in the add context, right? We just click on that, and it also give us a prompt of okay, you want to select a file, folder, external information, what thing, right? So it is a same thing only here. Now, the last thing is about the prompt. Okay. So, prompt is something we just say, okay, I want to use this particular tool. Okay. So, we just say that, okay, just define something for me, write down something for me, research something for me. Okay. Give me the understanding of it. Okay. So, I guess if you use the GitHub Copilot, right, you will also understand, ask, learn, why, okay, fix, quick fix. Okay, so you can do all those things by just putting a slash, and then you can say that, okay, I want to use this particular tool, and in that under that particular tool I want to use this particular action. Okay, for an example, for a GitHub it could be something to connecting to your repository, fetching information about the repository, and multiple other things, right? So this is the same thing what we also seen, right? This is a use case of the prompt, right? So prompt can dynamically pull in the real time, such as a from, it could be pulled from a GitHub pull request, or maybe from the some kind of static template as well, right? So that's the major three part what we have seen, the MCP servers, right? Those are the key fundamental three pillar on which the MCP work. Now we will going to see that, okay, how the MCPs look like, okay, but how it is running and where it is running. Okay, so we'll now going to just connect all the dot, and we're just going to have a clear picture about it. Okay, so now we understand, okay, now MCP server can run on a, MCP server will always going to run on a some host. So that host could be any VS Code or any ID. Okay, so VS Code, maybe you are running Visual Studio or VS Code, or maybe some kind of another ID, or uh, some another tool as well. Okay, now you're going to use some uh, server on it, okay, or LLM, or some kind of client, right? So host is a VS Code, client is a GitHub Copilot. Okay, so client is just going to give you the interface from which you can just enter your prompt, ask for information, or just define a task what you want AI agent to done, and that will going to get done. Now, we're going to see how MCP is currently working, and it could also work on your local system as well, right? So, on the client, you pass some message, MCP protocol will going to decode it, sharing that back to the MCP server. It could be that MCP server is your local file explorer only. Okay, so from file explorer, it will just going to fetch something, going to revert back something. Maybe MCP protocol, you want to work with the GitHub. Okay, so you want some kind of information from a GitHub, or you want to just get that thing. Okay, I want to solve some bug or some issue which is there in this particular repository. So you will going to give as in context, and particularly you want to do something on it, right? You want that AI agent do a pull request and all of that things, right? So whatever web API is there, so that will going to those message and all those things will going to pass through the client as well. Right, so that is the GitHub Copilot, right? So MCP server could be your file explorer, MCP server could be your GitHub, that is external tool as well. And as MCP servers also could be some remote server as well, in which you have your own custom APIs, you're running that and you are getting a output, right? So here we can clearly understand about it's not something about it is work with the few sources, with the few data instances. No, it can work with the multiple data instances, and in a same protocol. Okay, it's not something there is a different way to do it, it is same way to do it, same input same output. It's just that output will become in a some restructured format, or the way the flavor what you ask LLM to do. Okay, but that's a client side wrapper, it's not something on the MCP or a protocol at a protocol or MCP server level, right? So I hope, I guess this gives a real understanding, right? So now that remote server could be your web app, okay, maybe your function app, or maybe you are using some running some APIs on the Kubernetes cluster, right? So it could be that as well, right? So that's the thing. Now we will going to see the real time scenario, okay, in which we will going to understand Microsoft Learn MCP server. Okay, so what is the basically Microsoft Learn MCP server? So MCP server, okay, Learn MCP server is a remote MCP server, okay, that will going to allow you AI agent to tap directly into the official Microsoft product documentation. It can fetch information from on behalf of you. It is very simple to use, okay. It doesn't require any kind of custom connector or installing extra component, okay. It runs with the HTTPS or HTTPS streamable component only, okay, and it will going to give you the answer on top of that. Okay, now here we understand. Okay, I guess this is also possible to go to the MS Learn link and MS Learn website and do the things, right? But what is the main I can say surface or the leverage that this particular server is providing is you can get a focus information, right? You are working in the same one, you are getting a response in the same tab, okay. So you can get information in a same windows, it is very easy to use, okay. uh, Full technical documentation would be there, and there is a very less chance of hallucination, because it is directly fetching information from the MS Learn or Microsoft Talk link only, right? So it's very easy to use. Also, it also give you a code sample, okay. So server also return a relevant language specific code snippet for you, okay, helping to just understand, or maybe also give you some kind of deployment script and configurations as well, right? so it can help us to do things faster in efficient manner. Okay, and one another thing which we can always trust on, that is it is coming from a trusted place, and second, up to date information would be there. Maybe previously, just an example, in the Microsoft function app, the function app identity or a manage identity was not there. Now they introduced that one. But if you're using LLM, that can say, okay, now there is a no capability to use it. But now if you are using MCP, MSLN, MCP server, that can give you capability, or that can give you the clarity, that can clarify your question, or give you the pinpoint answer that says, hey, now Microsoft introduced that capability that you can use a manage identity, and that things could be done very easily and efficiently, right? So that's the thing here. Now this is the same thing, right? We can it will going to help us. Okay, we will continue in our flow, right? And we can continue in our ID, still going, we'll get an answer. Okay, whatever I'm officer docs will be there, it will be same coming in the same chat. We do not need to jump into the browser and do the things. Okay, another thing would be, always the whatever information would become, it come straight from Microsoft Learn at any query time. Okay, so it's always current. It's not something as soon as the doc are updated, Microsoft at the Microsoft Learn, our agent will also going to give us the same response, right? So always, which brings us to the third capability, that's accurate, always accurate answer, right? So responses are always going to be based on the official Microsoft documentation. Often it includes some preview kind of thing, right? But always you get a precise answer, and always there will be precision, right? So definitely that will going to help us to completely trust on that one. Okay, and definitely there will be link, right? So you always go there, and if you want to learn more about it, you can continue ask those questions in the same chat, or you can just, if you want to browse, you can browse it through those URLs as well. Okay, now you can here combine two different workflows as well. Maybe you are currently using Docs MCP, okay, MSLN MCP, but you also want to use Azure MCP. Okay, you get that code snippet. Now you want to deploy it somewhere, or you just want to understand, okay, in my current Azure subscription or a tenant, how much function app are running. Okay, you do not need to browse through the UI, or do not need to go to the browser, but you want to see it in the same uh, place or a chat. You can do that thing very efficiently, very quickly. All right. Now the question will arise that, okay, learn MCP server will be going to use for whom? Who can use it? Okay. So now the answer would be, MCP server can help for anybody. Okay, who is working with the Microsoft technology. Maybe you are a developer, right? You will going to get an information in the ID. All kind of answers would be there. Code examples will be there. Straightforward. It is coming from a docs, right? You do not need to worry about the it is coming as a true or a false, or there is a something hallucination. Always it comes with the um, fact that, okay, it is coming directly from the site, so you can trust in it. Always it will going to improve your productivity. Okay, it can also help for learners, or maybe someone who is just exploring the things. Okay, it can get information from the official place, so always the trust would be there. Whatever, maybe you want some support, so support engineers could also do. Maybe even contributors, right? Content creators always going to be benefited from it. Okay, they can verify the information, get an example against it. Okay, and also just source it in your material easily, right? So it could be used by learners, developers, support contributors. Everybody can use it who is just working around the Microsoft technologies, right? So that is the main thing, right? Now, how particular learn MCP is working. Okay, so now your MCP host is there. Okay, now you just add MCP client. Okay, you just say that, okay, I want to do this particular action. They will going to perform that action, or also they will also going to just understand, or going to trigger that particular things as well. So basically it will going to understand, okay, now if user is asking about the doc search, then I should trigger this particular feature and then it can be used. Or maybe if client is asked about code sample or some kind of code snippet, okay, so we can also, MCP server can also give you answer on it, or they can also do a tool calling from it, okay. So that's the thing, right? Now in your AI agent, okay, sorry, your ID, okay, in your environment, how it will going to look like, right? So it is likely to be possibility that you use any of this one, or maybe another ID as well, okay. So you can connect MCP to this particular platform. Also you can also connect your MCP to the external or outside of ID as well, right? You can connect to Copilot, Teams, ChatGPT, Cloud, Perplexity, your custom application, or your custom tool. You can directly integrate it with it, because it is uh, just the same protocol, it is just getting used. So there is a very easily to just leverage it, right, in your chatbot assistance, or maybe even custom application as well, right? When you create, and you can just attach MCP server URLs to that, especially any assistant that support that MCP protocol, and it can be leveraged, right? So the only the prerequisite is only that if you pass the information in the place where MCP can support that thing, then you can leverage it, right? So that's only the one prerequisite that we can see here. Now we also seen that if we maybe if we just go with the very real time example, right? Imagine that, okay, in the VS Code we are working on some project, we have some question on Microsoft technology. Normally what we do, we just go to the web, then just do a search of it. We do read some article, do read some connected URLs or some referred articles, and then we just going to get understanding about it, okay. But now what Copilot agent is doing in a chat window, the agent will going to give you the answer, okay. Whatever input you do, on top of that it will going to see, okay, what particular tool should I use, okay. Maybe if you are asking about a doc, then it will going to use Microsoft underscore doc underscore search tool to answer, okay. So it will allow you to use MCP server. Also AI agent will going to query on behalf of you to MCP server, and you will going to get an answer, okay. The answer would be also often reference with the link as well, right? So it is in a same. So if it will going to also going to help you based to just check that fact as well. Also it will also going to give you some code snippet as well, right? If you want to just use it, or maybe if you are facing some issue or error, definitely you can paste it there. You can get an output also there, or you can also they can also give you the up to date document link as well, right? So that's the thing basically. Now, so we also understand about the real time scenario of MCP. Right now, we understand, okay, what is an MCP? That it's nothing but we are directly connecting to the Microsoft official documentation, and which can also help us currently on the three major thing, maybe a doc search or a doc fetch or a uh, code snippet or code sample search, right? So all three are currently available, so we can use it. Now if we just ask something about that, okay, how do I securely deploy a containerized application in Azure using a bicep and GitHub action, right? And you say that, okay, validate the deployment pattern and provide the IAC, like example. So what it will going to do, okay, it will just going to break down the things, okay. It will just going to check, okay, now I have to use a particular MCP search doc, because client want to get understanding about it, right? So it will going to automatically going to trigger that particular tool, and will going to get an understanding of it. Now what it will do, it will from his understanding, it will auto going to generate a code files align with the whatever shared guidance was there, okay, and whatever search guidance it do have. Based on that, it will going to do the things and write the manual script for you, maybe from a scratch, or maybe it can also update if there is a something already files are available. Now, the third thing would be, once the agent has assemble all the solution, it also provide a quick summary. Okay, after that it will provide a summary that okay, what it already done, okay, done did. Okay, so GitHub Copilot explain every time. Okay, maybe development. You just giving him an instruction of development of something or deployment of something. It always going to perform that action, and it will going to give you the response, and which will help you, okay, to understand the outcome of it and what reasoning were done there. Okay, this summarize help us to confirm that okay, whatever pattern were implemented and whatever steps were there, which is good and acceptable, right? So that is that. Okay, now the pro tip could be to just specify your need. Okay, so for an example, okay, if we just take an example, okay, maybe after the solution is built, okay, we can say how did you use MCP learn server to do this. Okay, so it will going to clarify it something like that. Okay, it will always say that it describe areas in a research and specific document for a learn that is been referenced. Okay, or it also describe how the documentation influenced in the or implemented in the architecture pattern or GitHub integrations. Okay, it all also going to describe you why MCP server, this particular MCP server will going was used, and the specific URL retrieved, and just given that, right? So all that thing will going to share, right? So also give us the response on that how that things was also done. Now, if we would like to just get started with these things, okay, so what we need to do, we should just have a prerequisite as an Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we can go to Visual Studio Code, we can go to this particular repository, okay, and we can install a particular things. Okay, so we're going to see this step. Okay, so let's do demo in that case. Okay, so just give me a moment, let me clean that up. Yeah. So what we will going to do here is, okay, we're going to use a Visual Studio Code. Okay, triggering up. Okay, now what it is saying, okay, now we need to we need to connect with the GitHub. Okay, so I already connected with the GitHub Copilot. Okay, so now it's just activating my all the extensions. Okay, so that is that. Now how we can get started with it. Okay, so here you see MCP server. Okay, so you can install this particular MCP learn server if you want to just search it. So you can just go here and you can just do it like MCP server, and after that you can just search for a docs. Okay, or learn. I guess in my case it's already been installed, so it is not showing. But yeah, I guess yeah, it's coming now. Yes, it was just loading. So you see, currently format is the already installed. It is saying uninstall, but yeah, for you it will be the install. You can click on install, it automatically going to be get added. Now, for an example, if that is not the case for you, okay, it is not coming like that. Okay, what you can also do is you can just get this URL. Okay, you can also add that thing as an information here. So if I say, sorry, my bad, if I do a context, okay, in that I can go to the tool. Okay, 1 second, just get yeah. case, I just I guess it should be no agent MCP. Yeah, so the way would be to just add that tool here. Okay, so yes, there is also something to uh, add. I'm just, I guess, forgetting that particular thing. But yeah, I guess no worries. You can just ignore that for now. How we can do it is the way would be to directly just install it from it. Okay. Now, the second thing, what this thing is saying, okay, open a chat, okay, and just go to the agent mode. Yeah, we already have agent mode, okay. Top chat, we're just going to copy this instruction, okay. So we're going to click on this chat instruction, new chat instruction for an we say to pilot, okay. Yes, okay. Yeah, okay. So what I will do, I will just going to paste the information what I have. Okay. So this I have just copy pasted directly from this one. Okay. Now what I will going to, I will just going to save this. So what we are just doing it, we are just saying that okay, you have access of this particular tool. Okay, you have this particular three capability. You can use it when someone is going to ask you something. Just you can use this particular three things, and it can be uh, done quickly, right? So yeah, so that is thing. Now what we're going to do is we just going to close this particular thing because we already added an instruction. Okay. Now we will just going to uh, check that okay. For an example, I want to ship newest Azure OpenAI model in my region. Okay, how can I do it? Okay, so what I will do, I will just going to change this particular to any premium model. Okay, I'm just generally to use 4.5. I add it. I'm just adding this particular thing. Then okay, user learn MCP to check which Azure OpenAI chat model are currently available in HTOS2, the required API version, token limit. Basically, we are just asking for information, and then we are also saying that okay, give me the Python code, and you can also say maybe a C# code or somewhere like that. Okay, and we want to use it that particular thing for OpenAI SDK with the streaming. Okay, so we can just give that particular thing and let's see. So if we see that okay, it just use this particular reference, and particular this reference, what we say is that we just say is that okay, you need to use this particular three, right? And if you also see here, okay, if you also see here, it also be able to see that okay, it is using Microsoft Doc search, right? So that particular MCP server is getting being used. Now you think that okay, I guess this is just a like general thing, right? It's not something AI agent every time it will going to pick up. So the answer is no, not every time it will going to pick up. For an instance, what I do, I just click on a new thing, okay, just a new chat. I will just going to use a free model, okay. I'm just adding a same thing, okay, and now you will see that it will going to just look for that information, but the response would be not in the same way what we get for this premium model, right? So yeah, here we get a response something like this. Okay, for 5 this is there. Okay, all the other specs are being given. Okay, for streaming, okay, how we can use it. Okay, also given a code snippet. Yeah, I guess this looks good to me. Now here, what it will do, it is just running that particularly thing. But yeah, it is running on a, hence this is running on a free one. Okay, it will, the response would be somewhat different, right? It will be not a same one. It is just going to say that okay, I did something based on my knowledge, this particular thing, you can go and you can do it. Okay, so here is the main difference that you can see when we are using a premium model and when we are using something a free model kind of thing, right? So for an example, for this one as well, if I just change, okay, and if I just ask, okay, so now it will going to use the MCP. Okay, previously it did not use an MCP. It was just basically it just use general LLM to answer is, but this time is, or it was also LLM, but LLM also gone for particular uh, learn MCP tool and particular document fetch, those functions tools were going getting called and it was getting being used. Okay, so that's the thing, right? Maybe you can, if you want to just play around it, right, you can always play around it and you can always say that okay, maybe I just have a look, I have a bias. Okay, I generally use this particular sonnet version, so I am quite comfortable with that and those responses only. So I would like to just change it back to this one. Okay, so for an example, I am on Azure App Service, this particular Linux, Windows, sorry, Linux operating system I'm looking for. Okay, I want to use this particular server, MCP server, to pull the latest guidance. Okay, to just read the keyword secret system as an identity in a C sharp. Okay, Python include the RBAC versus the access policies. Okay, so what should I do? What should be the uh, access method I should use? Access policy or rollback access control. Okay, so it will also going to give you the information about that as well. Right. So let's wait for it to be available. Yeah. So you see there's a three different instances are getting been ran. Okay. One for this particular thing. Okay. For Azure app service plan, what we have asked. Second one was you see manage identity. Okay. So how manage identity, whether language would be in a C sharp. Okay. The same thing manage identity, but it would be in a Python one. Right? So it will going to just give us an thing that okay, what you should do. Maybe if you are writing a bicep template or infrastructure as a template code, you can just add this particular variable, or you can just enable this flag, and that will going to do a work for an example. If you are running easy CLI script, okay, then what should be the easy CLI script look like? Okay, and if I say uh, give me give me in TF. Okay, so what it will going to do, it will just going to uh, likely to give me the Terraform. Okay, but let's see if that understand TF or no. Yeah, it already always understanding the TF. Okay, so you can see I guess I really like this particular thing because it, whatever it generate, it also generate in a quite good fashion. Okay, so if we just develop this thing, then we will also going to generate a tf variable.tf, main.tf will just going to create a we'll just going to uh, yeah, register a required provider. Okay, and provider would be Azure RM. Fine, if I also say that okay, I want the Azure API, then we're going to use Azure API. Okay, then all the resources will be going to be created. Okay, so all other thing. Okay, and also it is giving us an optional thing that okay, if I want to configure something as an app setting, I could also do that thing. Okay, now if I want to use the alternate approach of using access policy, which is a legacy, okay, which is good, it is reflecting that it was a older one, right? So this is the thing, it is also going to give me the usage, how I can use it. Okay, so I can use this particular one. Maybe if I want to, I do not want to create a var file. Okay, I just want to use it directly through the terminal. So that is also helpful. Okay, and how the things will be at that place. So yeah, so that will be useful to understand it, right? So that was a demo. Now there is a SDKs or just about any programming language, right? Here for a Microsoft, right? Tool you can use it, right? C Sharp, Java, Kotlin, Python, TypeScript. Okay, but officially Microsoft maintain a C Sharp SDK. Okay, so you definitely go and check it out about it. Maybe if you want to build some AI agent for it, right? You can go to the aka.ms, let's learn MCP, then C Sharp, Java, Python, JavaScript, right? So you can build agent with yourself for your company, for your developer, or maybe that could use your own MCP server. Okay, so you can build MCP at your place as well. It's not something that it only could be made by some big company or maybe some enterprise. No, you can also do it. Now how Microsoft give you capability to build it. Okay, so model context protocol at a Microsoft. Okay, so I guess if you don't know, the MCP model context protocol were developed by the Anthropic. Okay, if you do not know Anthropic, Anthropic is the same company who developed MCP. I guess, sorry, this is a typo. MCP enables a seamless integration between LLMs and the external tool. Okay, then you can build local, or you can use some remote MCPs as well, right? So you can use MCP, CSAP SDKs or Azure Management or Azure Function or Microsoft Connector, or maybe some graph connectors as well, right? To use it, the tool could be to go and use on Azure. Okay, the tool will be a place, the destination, right? Um, where you want to reach, or the which on the platform, or the place where you want to do something. Maybe on Azure you want to see how much virtual machine are there, you want to decommission it, you want to update something on the GitHub, you need to update some PR, create a PR, update the code, resolve the whatever issue are there, maybe do some kind of fixing kind of thing, maybe on the Fabric, my Teams, WSL. Okay, on many another out of the Microsoft tools also you can use it, right? Atlassian, GitLab. Okay, uh, Notion, File Explorer. So it's not something only with the online tool or the cloud tool. It will also going to work same or seamlessly with your offline information or a File Explorer or the your own data as well. Right. Now, if you would like to use some kind of connector, which is generally many people are using, right? And maybe somewhere community kind of connector, community community initiative or something like that. You always go to the Anthropic plus GitLab community, right? There will you will going to find something at the enterprise level. Microsoft Enterprise also publish some of the connectors at the registry level. So from the registry, you can download it, you can use it, you can get those codes, you can directly call those things and utilize it in your MCP. Now, once you have those all those two layers, right, now you can use it from the MCP client or a host, right? I guess you already have an understanding what is a host and what is a client, right? So you can do and invoke that particular thing and invoke MCP from a Copilot Studio, VS Code, Foundry Agent, Visual Studio, Windows, Copilot, GitHub Copilot, Microsoft Teams, semantic kernel. It's not just about this only. You can do it from uh, Azure function as well. Okay, you can do it from other places as well. It's something about maybe you can do it from Cloud as well. You can do it from GitHub Code Spaces as well. You can do it from Code Windsurf as well, right? You can do it from JetBrains as well, right? So it's just about if you have some client, it which can give you a capability of UI or something, right? You uh, definitely that will going to be utilized, and at the back end your data is going in the same manner what MCP open standard are looking at. Okay, so then you definitely going to have connectivity and you can always use it. Now uh, there is also MCP registry. Okay, GitHub MCP registry that you can check it out. Okay, so what you can do is that yeah, we can just check for this particular uh, thing, right? MCP server, GitHub MCP server, right? It was launched in the September 2025. Okay, so in the one click, you can just go to the multiple MCP servers and you can use it. So yeah, let's just quickly have a look on this one. Okay, so there's the total 58. Now, if you are coming from Microsoft, you are coming from some another tool, okay, or maybe some enterprise, or if you are also coming from some community-based initiative, okay. So, for an example, Microsoft Learn it is coming from Microsoft Doc. For an example, if I want to use Azure DevOps, what I will going to do, I will just click on install. I want to use it in a VS Code. I'm just going to open it. Okay. So same thing you can also do it for VS Code as well, or I could also search from here as well, right? I can just type Azure DevOps. Let's try that thing. Let's type iterate MCP. Sorry, MCP. Yeah, let's wait for it to be done. Yeah, we can see. So same thing. Okay, so what you can do, you can just install it. Okay, once you install it, if there is some dependency or you need to install Node.js, then yeah, you can click on it, you can use it. I guess if you are a developer, I guess you will have a Node.js or a CISA, whatever dependency are required to be have, you're always going to have it, right? If not, then yeah, you can directly go and download it. All right, you can follow this instruction and you can use it. Right. So and there is also more MCP registries out there. It's not something only to this, right? If you want like to use it to the MongoDB or AP5 or maybe Atlassian one, Hugging Face one or Dynatrace, okay, you can use those as well, okay. Also maybe Figma MCP server, right? It's also, I guess I use somewhere for one of the thing. I guess Azure Kubernetes Service is also one of the good one, right? Which you definitely should check it out if you are in the space of DevOps. Not really DevOps. It's something about if you have an interest in a cloud native, you can check it out and you can understand what value that brings that the table. Okay. The another would be to Zapier. I guess Zapier was also very popular before those Nnet and another those tool came in a picture. Okay, so this was all the. Then you can also work with JFrog. So there's a lot many things, right? So yeah, that's the things are there, right? With that, yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. If you have some question or some doubt, feel free to tell me or just drop it in a chat. If no, then yeah, that was it for today. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So thanks a lot, Vandit sir, for this insightful session, and thanks a lot to everyone who joined us for on this journey of MCP. So thank you, sir, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.